What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. I'm Big Cam, and today we're going to be talking about the movie that makes the Infinity Saga the Infinity Saga. We're talking about 2018's Infinity War from the Russo brothers. Oof! This movie, I'm going to start off right by saying that Thanos and the gauntlets with the Infinity Stones might just be the most devastating villain that we've seen in the MCU. Have there been other good villains? Sure, but has there been a better villain than Thanos? I don't think so. I think maybe Kang the Conqueror could, but from what we've seen from him from Quantumania, I don't think Quantumania really showed Kang being Kang, you know? I think it was an underpowered Kang for sure, and everyone keeps going, oh, he got beat by ants. Did he, though? It looked like to me that he got shrunken down from in the quantum realm into whatever that orb was. And I don't think he's gone. I think wherever that sent him is a problem, and we're going to figure it out sooner than later. But just how Josh Brolin voiced this role, and how Weta VFX and whoever else worked on this. Thanos, for a fully CGI character, other than his chin, his little nutsack of a chin, the purple, the tone of purple, the scars on his face, the pupils, the little stubbles, like, the way that Thanos looks is unbelievable. Like, we're rewatching this the other night, even, 5 years later, I'm sitting there like, dude, this is some insanity. Like, I can't believe how good this man looks. And then he's got that deep voice, and almost immediately they start the movie out going, hey, this guy is a real threat, because we're going to give you real stakes. He kills Heimdall, kills Loki, kills pretty much everyone else, every other Asgardian, leaves Thor, kind of alive. He was beaten, but he's alive. And that was a mistake, because Thor holds a vengeance for Thanos in his head. He goes and gets the hammer. Like, that whole sequence with Thor getting the hammer, and Stormbreaker, and Peter Dinklage as a giant dwarf. I thought that was interesting. They're supposed to be dwarfs, and dwarfs, as we know, are little people. But this guy was a giant dwarf. It was just interesting character choice, but definitely the best person to play the job, Peter Dinklage. But we get that whole battle on Wakanda, like, and how everyone just, like, teams up. You got Black Panther next to Cap, Winter Soldier, and Nat, the whole army of Wakanda, Okoye, and then Thor shows up with his new hammer with Rocket and Groot. You got Bruce Banner and the Hulkbuster behind him. That sequence when Thor shows back up on the planet, whew, bring me Thanos, he just, like, devastates everyone. Like, just one guy shows up and devastates, like, just shows how much power that Thor really has. Craziness. But I liked how this movie, without Civil War, this movie's not really possible, because that's the last time we really saw all the Avengers in the same movie, and they kind of split up. They broke up like the Beatles, like a band, and they broke up and they weren't together anymore. So then you get, Cap's on Earth fighting, then you get Tony on Titan with some Guardians, but you got Peter. He's got Spider-Man, so he's got some of, like, the Avengers, but he's also got Doctor Strange, so we got some Earth people, then we have our space people mixing together, and just how they did this whole first movie was awesome. My only gripes with this movie is that they kill fucking Gamora, but, well, really, they kill a lot more than that. They end up dusting goddamn everybody, so, Thanos comes in, and, we think Thor's gonna kill him. He puts his Stormbreaker in his goddamn chest, and he goes, you should have gone for the head. No! And we were all, like, I remember sitting in the theaters, mind absolutely blown, like, no fucking way. And then everyone turns to ash and dust, and then that's where the credits roll. And we're sitting there like, are you serious? They just lost? Everyone's dead? All of our favorite characters are dead? Now, granted, they couldn't keep it like that. I almost wish that they did. Like, the stakes of Thanos were real in that they were unchangeable. But, they had to make another movie. They had to change. They had to go back, save everybody. It's super complicated, and time travel and all this type of shit. But Endgame has its own problems. But all of Endgame's problems are because this movie was so good that they were like, fuck, how do we do this again? You know, like, we have to do the inverse now. We have to defeat Thanos instead of Thanos defeating us. But just the first time around with Thanos snapping the fingers, he portals away, and then he just sits there looking at the sunrise on a grateful universe. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, Josh Brolin, Thanos, you fucking bastard. You know, I couldn't believe that Thor wasn't able to kill him, and he went for the head, but it was too late. And then everyone gets dusted. That moment Peter gets dusted is heartbreaking. That moment Groot gets dusted from Rocket, heartbreaking. Ugh. But mostly that Tom Holland, sir, I'm not ready to go. This doesn't feel good. And then he just dusts away. You're like, fuck, no. But overall, I gave this movie 5 out of 5 stars. It's just a classic. I don't think I'll ever not like this movie. Rewatching it with all these movies feels so good. You know, it's crazy to be, we're in Loki season 2 territory, and we know Loki's alive, but he's from a different timeline. So seeing our Loki die in this movie is like all types of heartbreaking all over again. So now I need to get to Endgame so I can see him take the cube and bounce, so I can get back to Loki season 1 and, you know, feel better about it. But overall, my Marvel rewatch continuing on. We got Ant-Man&the-Wasp, Captain Marvel coming up, and then Sony's Venom project coming up. So stay tuned for more Marvel movie reviews, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.